G'day and welcome to Black Opal Direct. My name's Justin. Well, I was just in Lightning Ridge, and while I was there, Saxon and I bought a parcel of fossil seam opal or fossil opal, and by the looks of it, when you put all the fossils together, it was one big piece of wood that turned into opal. So I've done some special testing, and on the smaller pieces I've rubbed up some of the pieces to see what the colour bar looks like, because this biggest, most impressive piece is what we put most of our money into, has a huge colour bar going through it. And so while the rubs, they look okay, I got eaten by sand so much that some of the gems looked like they were going to be around 5 carats and ended up being half a carat to 1 to 2 carats. And you can see here that the colour bar, there's a green one on top and then a red one just below. And you can see in some of these rubs that I'm showing you that the colour, the green, if I leave some green on there, you can see red through from the bottom. And this gem here has all the green taken off it, and you can only see the orangey red colour bar, which is still quite nice. So my challenge today is to get the biggest piece out of the parcel and see if I can cut some better sized gems and hopefully clean, sand free and inclusion free. Let's get on the wheel and see what happens. Alright, so unfortunately the gem torch doesn't really protrude very far into this piece, and it makes me a little bit nervous because usually when the gem torch doesn't get in there in a nice colour bar, it usually tells me that it's not clean. So we have chances, but not great chances. So we're just going to have to start working on this piece, moving around. And I think because there's the chance of a bigger gem possibly just around this area here, and we've got a little nodule sticking out there, I might slice that through there and just take that piece off, because it really isn't doing any justice to the piece, and it'll give me a little bit better idea about that colour bar inside and how clean it is, because it could be really sandy. By the looks of that sand there, these sand holes here and here, it's going to be a mission to cut something decent. So let's get in the slicer. Blade's going way too quickly through the piece to be able to say that that was solid opal. That's not good. So here's the slice, and look at all that sand. That's a little bit too much sand for my liking. You can see the colour bar there. Let's just work on this little piece and see if there's anything below that sand first. I'm doubting it, since I see too much sand to be comfortable saying that there's going to be a gem in there. And it's not looking very good. Especially, oh, look at this, it's just breaking apart. It's got natural cracks in it as well. This isn't looking good. Not looking good at all. A little bit of colour showing through, potch in the face, more chips. Yeah, not looking great, that's for sure. Alright, so that one's been eaten by sand. So let's go back to the original piece and start making our way over to the larger bit of colour, and let's hope that this sand disappears. It's not looking great. Yuck. That sand is beating this fossil opal up. And as I push on the wheel, my investment risk is getting higher and higher. So I'm hoping that this potch and the colour bar separates from all this sand somewhere further in. But really, it's not looking great, that's for sure. This is looking like a less and less decent buy every push on the wheel. Jeez, look at this. Look at these pits and holes. It's not good. Wow, just sand's coming from every angle, making this an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I was hoping that this sand would start disappearing on this side and clearing up like that side, but it doesn't look great. Can't even see very far in there at all. Please clean up, please. I'm going to take this side down and see if I can get past that sand. Pretty much my hopes are all dwindling away with all that rubbish. And even the colour looks good from the side and not from the top. Oh man, this is not good. Yuck. Okay. So some of that colour there has shown up, is fairly decent, and this sand is just, I can see it's just really eating its way into that colour quite a lot. Yeah, so I've got really little chance of cutting anything out of this side, because I guess these things will go down deep as they do and possibly below the colour bar, which is a shame. But let's work on something there, that's all we can really do. Well, because there's a dome there and then there's pits there, I'm going to slice it right through there, and then we can work on a gem there and pretend that we're going to cut something out of that side, because there ain't nothing there, that's for sure. It looks good here, but seriously not anywhere else. Let's get a slice going. So I've saved a bit of time and quickly sliced it off camera, and just to show you, look at the sand all shot everywhere, so that's a bit of a shame. So I'm going to put this piece down because it's really sand shot right through, nothing going to be coming up that, and let's work on this piece. got a few sand spots all around in here, and they're quite pitted to hold. So I'm just going to try and get them out before I lose the colour bar. And if they do come out, this is actually not bad. It's actually a decent size. So as long as we get a clean gem, I'm not going to be unhappy about it. So one of the things that we had to be careful of is when I did the other pieces, some of the potch sits up just under the colour, and as I ground down, potch spots showed up in the face. So I had to be really careful in rubbing down on the colour bar to try and get that red bar. So it has been challenging. So I'm very nervous to rub any of these pieces down on the colour bar very far at all. Good old sand. Sand is my friend, my frenemy. Can't live with it, can't live without it. Oh, that's quite a nice coloured gem, and it's a decent size. And now my goal is to cut a clean-faced, beautiful black opal. So I'm just going to roll that edge a little bit. Let's have a close look at that. So I thought I was out of the woods. I got myself my 5 to 6 carat gem that I thought would be brilliant, and the colours are really nice. So I thought I'd be making profit, and I'm really quite happy. But then something turned. Well, unfortunately, after looping this gem and putting the gem torch into it, there is a crack that is going right across the top of the gem. Unfortunately, I have to take it now down and try and get that crack out, and it's not looking good for me. My investment is now starting to diminish quite a lot. I just have to work on getting that out. And look at this. Potch is now coming through the face, and unfortunately nothing is looking good. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. So I've just sliced through that potch that's shown up, so I can possibly get a little gem out of there, which is very unfortunate. I'll put that piece down, and we're going to work on a very, very small gem in comparison to what it could have been. Very, very small gem. And that's unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles. And now I have to dry this piece out, have a look in it, and make sure there's no cracks. If there's no cracks, then we have at least a gem there. But if there's still cracks, I'm going to have to cut it further. Unfortunately, the crack still resides in the piece, and I'm going to have to cut it even further in. Well, there you have it. Opal doesn't always work out, that's for sure. I mean, this last piece that come out of the largest piece in the parcel, and I thought would cut so beautifully, at least 5 carats, has, let me just check, has come down to 1.39 carats, and I haven't even polished it yet. And it may still have that little crack in it. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to make a great profit on this parcel, but I will say from the smaller pieces, when we add up every single gem, and I've cut a couple of pieces here just to see how they turn out, because I had to do some testing before I cut that big piece. And within all of these pieces and the rubs that I've got as well, I think I'll get my money back, only just, which was a spend of $10,000, and it's pretty much a $10,000 return. So a lot of effort, a lot of driving to get a parcel like this for no profit. That's what happens sometimes, and you just have to deal with the fact that that's the risk you take when it comes to opal cutting and buying. So, well, I hope you didn't enjoy this one, because I didn't, and I'll speak to you next time.